The ongoing news that KBF and Mr. Mtata are joining alliance with UPND is a sign and a sad one, in that UPND is a liberal capitalist, pro-capitalist. The former colonial masters, the West, from whom we liberated ourselves during independence. This shows our leaders, they're still ignorant about political economy ideologies, which ones are for Africa and which ones, especially the third world, and which ones are supposed to be taken by the Zambians. We know that in capitalism, this is where the factors of production are in private sector, which they have failed consecutively. MMD privatized and they failed. Now we have seen again the MMD pursuing the same failing ideology, where the factors of production and private sector. The private sector has failed. It cannot run on itself like it is in America. In Zambia, when they say we are a private sector, liberalism, like UPN, they still cry and point to the government instead of sustaining the social sector. They have failed. So they cannot be taken on even for the fourth time, rather third time. The first time the private sector led Zambia is during the scramble for Africa up to independence. What was the scenario? The scenario is that the private sector treated Africans and Zambians as second citizens or animals or workers. That's why when you come to socialist, this they try to mitigate governance ruling from capitalism to socialism. Socialism is not giving people free things, as people seem to be confused that notion. Socialism, this is where the government has to get involved in manipulating the factors of production, and the private sector, they coexist. Why the government has to have a role to play or play a factor in economics is because the private sector, usually they evade taxes and they are so selfish. But to ensure the livelihood of the Zambians, the livelihood of the people, the government maintains its role to utilize the taxes that people pay by participating in creating companies, managing the economy, the inflation, the exchange rate, and growing the economy on behalf of the people who pay taxes. Whereas those who win themselves from working in parastatals, they also have to join the private sector and do business. We have already explained that in communism, this is where the factors of production, land, labor, capital, and enterprise are in the hands of the state on behalf of the people, because they have a rational understanding to say some people, they cannot manage to start business or the economy, running the economy on their own. They lack the knowledge. So like in China, it has gone to number one because of supporting the citizens first. So when you come to capitalism, we are saying this is where the factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, and enterprise, are concentrated in the hands of the private sector. This is what they have failed to understand, the Zambians also. They have failed to understand, so that they take up the role. So it is sad that Mr. Mtati and KBF, who happened to have been giving hope to the people of Zambia that he has a plan, is going to support capitalism. Why support capitalists when the people are poor who cannot compete with the capitalist West? A third world country cannot compete with the first world in that the first world, they have had their raw materials processed, and oftentimes they are subsidized from the country of origin. So it's short-sighted on the side of Brother KBF and Mtati. It's just flip-flopping. They are supposed to start with socialism. When people are empowered, then you let them leave them on their own. Let them study political economy ideologies. These are stages, such that you should start with socialism, thereafter move to either communism or capitalist. As at now, it is a mistake. In fact, even the Benamembe and Winter Kavimba, this is the final stage of economic struggle in Zambia against the capitalists. So all socialists, they should compromise and support, have one term. Thank you.